I woke up from sedation for a colonoscopy 12 weeks pregnant. The anesthesiologist was alone with me for 3 hours. I'm staring at the pregnancy test in my hands, showing 2 dark lines while my husband Kevin stands in the bathroom doorway, asking how this is possible. We haven't had sex in 4 months. I've been dealing with severe gastrointestinal issues that made intimacy painful, and we'd both been too stressed and exhausted to even try. The last time was in early January, and it's now late April. I'm 12 weeks pregnant according to the test, and the dating doesn't match anything in our recent history. Kevin's face goes from confusion to something harder when I say the only time I was unconscious and vulnerable in the past 3 months was during my colonoscopy in late January. I'd gone in for a routine procedure to investigate my stomach issues. Standard sedation. The gastroenterologist Dr. Raymond Kiao performed the exam and everything was supposed to be normal, except the recovery took longer than expected, much longer. When I finally woke up disoriented and foggy, the recovery nurse told me I'd had a reaction to the anesthesia, and they'd monitored me for extended time. She said the anesthesiologist Dr. Philip Castellanos had stayed with me personally to ensure my safety. Kevin's hands are shaking when he asks if I'm suggesting what he thinks I'm suggesting. I don't know what I'm suggesting because my brain can't process the implications, but the math is unavoidable. Conception happened approximately 12 weeks ago, which was late January. The colonoscopy was January 28th. I was sedated for what should have been a 30-minute procedure, but according to the discharge papers, I didn't leave until 3 hours later. The paperwork says I had adverse reaction to propofol and required extended monitoring, but now I'm pregnant and there's only one time in the past 4 months I was unconscious and someone had unrestricted access to my body. I tell Kevin we need to go to the hospital immediately. He's asking if I'm sure about the timeline, and I'm saying I've never been more sure of anything. I track everything in my health app. I know exactly when we last had sex, and I know exactly when my colonoscopy was. The dates align perfectly with a pregnancy that should be impossible. The emergency room doctor listens to my story with an expression that starts skeptical and becomes increasingly disturbed. Dr. Lisa Yoon is in her 40s with sharp eyes that miss nothing. She orders an ultrasound and blood work without hesitation. The ultrasound technician is a young woman named Amy, who goes quiet when she hears why we're here. She measures the fetus carefully and confirms gestational age of 12 weeks and 2 days. The conception date would be late January, between the 24th and 28th. Dr. Yoon asks again about the colonoscopy, and I show her the discharge paperwork. She reads the section about extended recovery and her jaw tightens. She asks if I remember anything unusual about waking up. I tell her I don't remember anything after they started the sedation until I woke up in recovery feeling strange, not just groggy from anesthesia but wrong in a way I couldn't articulate. I'd had soreness that I attributed to the procedure itself, internal soreness that seemed excessive, but the